Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Nonprofits, show where we discuss with thought leaders, philanthropists, experts, and national and international leaders of nonprofit organizations to talk about the best practices that make nonprofits effective. One way to increase their awareness, their funding, their sustainability, as well as ultimately their impact. So we're excited today. We have another great guest on the show to talk about the excellent work that they're doing in the community. And today we are with the Trinity, Nonprofit Trinity Awards Executive Director, Ms. Linda Brooks Horton. Welcome, Ms. Horton.
Thank you for having me, Nash. Truly appreciate it.
Let me tell you, we're excited about it. You're one of the people that when we first conceived of some of the ideas about nonprofits, that you heard the idea, wanted to make sure that we've got back in touch. And I tell you, I appreciate that for you to hear the idea and the concept of various things that we shared, and for you to find value in that. It meant a lot. I didn't know exactly who you were fully at that time. I'd heard great things about you, but being able to sit next to you at that event that evening and for you to validate the ideas that I shared with you has meant a lot. And so, again, I may not have publicly said that, but I thank you for that.
Well, you're quite welcome. And anyone that has a heart for a nonprofit, trust me, you've got my support.
That was the total sentiment. Once you heard that, she just came and said, well, let me know. Mm-hmm. And so you'll find out tonight that we are talking about Nonprofits Trinity Awards and the great work that they do. And I will let Ms. Horton share with you exactly the details of that. But before we get into the details of all the great work that goes on with that, we just want to know, just briefly, just tell us about Ms. Linda Brooks Horton, not the executive director doing great things with Trinity Awards and all about there, but just the plain old human Linda Horton.
Well, I'm just an ordinary, plain person.
Oh.
I said I'm a city girl with a country girl heart.
Okay.
Yes. I have always been in the nonprofit sector, maybe about 30 years or so. Started when I was 5.
Okay.
So you do the math. Do the math.
I thought 20 based upon that.
There you go. But I've always been in the nonprofit sector.
Okay.
Started off naturally in the church. I've held every position there is except for that being of a pastor.
Okay.
I love giving to others. I mean, that's my heart. That's my passion. And so I'm someone you can just come up to and talk with. Very easygoing.
Absolutely.
Very much.
I agree with that. Everything you've said as you're talking, I have found to be true. Again, it's been about a year, I think, since we met, and everything that you just said is true. You take that city girl and you put that country heart. I like that description, and it is a great description. Now, she's known as the nonprofit lady, but I tell you, that right there, I don't know, I might add that moniker in there, city girl with a country heart. Well, this episode, we're excited about getting into the Nonprofit Trinity Awards. They do great work in the community and take a unique approach to that activity. So what we're going to do now is just allow you to share with us, the Nonprofit Trinity Awards. What is it? When did it get started? And what is it about?
Well, the Nonprofit Trinity Awards is a 501c3 nonprofit organization where we recognize and honor small nonprofit organizations and volunteers for what they do within the local community. It started about 3 years ago. This is our 3rd annual awards event. And it was basically birthed out of me having a greater passion for nonprofits. We know that they work tirelessly within the community. Right. They give their heart. They give their finances. They just give their all. And they don't really look for anything in return.
You're right.
And it's time that someone just took a little time out to where they can be recognized for what they do. A little pat on the back, saying, well done, keep up the great work. A means of motivating and encouraging small nonprofit organizations.
I think that's a great way to describe it. In fact, while you were talking, it made me think about a coach almost, where the coach may not be in the game on the field or on the court, but that coach is there directing, rooting.
Yes.
But there's also to celebrate. It's always talk about a win or loss is dependent upon the players, but the coaches themselves, they cheer them on. And so when I first learned of the Trinity Awards, I tell you, I kept hearing nothing but positive things, which led into a conversation they would have about you ultimately. And I just thought it was a great, unique approach to a nonprofit service that rather than being out there as a nonprofit, being the hands and the feet, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're there really saying, okay, I know you're tired. You can make it. Come on. You're there. So that's a unique approach. So I applaud you. I applaud you for being obedient to the spirit that has led you to even go there. And just let me ask, and I know you said, you shared with us how it came about, but let me ask you this. In terms of the Trinity Awards, how are the awards or the recipients of the awards selected?
Well, at the beginning of each year, we send out a mass mailing via email. We also post it with all different types of social media, asking the public to nominate or suggest, recommend a small nonprofit or a volunteer that they feel has done outstanding work, that has made an impact in even their lives or others' lives, that need to be recognized. And that's how we select our nominees.
I like that. In fact, I was a recipient this year of one of the nomination forms, and I like that idea. I haven't had a chance to tell you that, but the fact of the matter is anybody has the opportunity to be recognized. It's there's no well, you're only drawing from this sector or people or this. You put it out there, and as far reaching as the social media will take it, the mailings will take it, and if people respond, people have opportunity.
That's right. There are many people in the local neighborhoods that may not even have been heard of.
Right.
And this is that opportunity where someone who has been touched can at least bring them to light.
Well, I tell you, that goes hand in hand with the purpose of Let's Talk Nonprofits. That is the whole point of organizations who haven't been heard of. I've run across a lot of nonprofits prior to us launching this show who, when you talk with them, and you're like, what? And where is this taking place?
Right.
And then the question, well, if you can't directly help, the question, well, how can people get involved? And then ultimately the conversation will turn where you hear there's a struggle.
Yes.
There's a need, and then you begin to hear that the cause or the causal impact or the impact has been less than what they had hoped.
Right.
But it turns out to be exactly what you say, that people just aren't aware. So would you speak to that? Again, what you do is once you receive these nominations, you bring awareness to them.
That's right.
So would you just speak to that, the importance of that you found bringing those who are in obscurity into prominence?
Right. We've all heard about the, household names of the larger nonprofits like, Salvation Army, Red Cross, that are doing, wonderful work within our community. But there are those pockets of small neighborhoods where they are taking lives and making an awesome difference. They are the unsung heroes within our community. I realize, too, that, again, they're giving their heart and their resources, and we truly, truly want to bring light to them. I think if we all look back in our lives, that at one point or another, someone has helped us out of a very difficult situation.
Absolutely.
And if it wasn't for that particular organization or volunteer, we wouldn't be where we are today. So It's time for them to shine.
Right there with you. You speak about the fact that, in communities where they're doing work, but you said something else, that they're giving them their resources. And when you say that, you mean their personal resources, correct?
That is correct, because most small nonprofit organizations are ran with limited amount of volunteers and also resources, but that does not stop them from doing the work that they have been mandated to do. And they're giving their all, and they're doing it from their heart, even if they themselves become a little, short. They're not looking about themselves. They're not thinking about themselves. They're always thinking about someone else, and that's a big heart.
While you were saying that, you brought back a lot of memories, some that people have shared with me and some that I've experienced personally with others. But I guess I shouldn't get into that too much. But it really gets back to the point of, people giving to the point of where it hurts. And I say that from the standpoint, and I say personally, my mom used to say, she said, well, if you haven't heard it, if you haven't gotten to the point of hurting, you haven't given. If you're just skimming off the top, giving, but if you don't feel that impact of loss because you've given significant, she said that you truly haven't given. So I hear that. However, I do know you while you believe in that big heart, you have that big heart, but you also are business wise and you're business savvy, and you understand the importance of operating an organization efficiently, effectively, as a business, that just happens to have a profit loss statement that says there's no profit. Okay. And so could you speak to that? And let me put this in proper context. You recognize that those are organizations out there as you described, but it is your goal, from what I've been able, hanging around you, talking with, it is your goal to move them to the level. Could you just speak to the importance of nonprofits understanding that they truly are in business?
Yes. Even though a nonprofit organization may be either tax exempt or they are just a domestic nonprofit organization, there is that business side that they have to incorporate into the organization, because no organization can operate in a loss. They need to be able to try and secure funding, or even if it's in-kind services, anything to help the organization keep running, to keep moving. And the Lord will always open up doors. Others will always be positioned in a place where they can see this organization, what they're doing, see that cause, and is willing to give to the cause, no matter how small, how great.
And that is one of the tenets that we believe in, and we try our best to espouse and bring out with every episode, because in order for nonprofits to truly be effective, to realize the cause or the impact that they're looking for, they've got to gain that level of understanding. I will share this briefly, and we will move on. But I read once, and I can't remember where, so I can't give credit. But somewhere in the nonprofit publications, there was a statement about nonprofits fill the space that businesses will not go.
That's right.
In other words, businesses will not be developed to cure or find a place to help homelessness, because there's no return there. There's no profit there. No one spending money to help the homeless. No one spending money to help the battered woman find a shelter. And so the way this article positioned was the fact that nonprofits exist to fill that space, that gap. So, you go in it understanding that this is not a business proposition in terms of revenue generation for profit, but there are the aspects of business operation that are important to maintain that they're sustaining themselves, they're able to move forward with impact increase. So what I want to share from that is Ms. Horton has a big heart, but she truly understands the importance of making sure those bottom lines are reading appropriately from the business aspect of it. So although you hear the city girl with the big heart, and you hear, I mean, you can just listen to her voice and the tonality and all of that. You find the essence of her desire to be of assistance and help. But she's not blind of the fact, and believe me, when you talk to her one-on-one, you'll quickly understand that there are things that she requires. And we're going to get to that later on in the second half of our show, because we have a surprise with you, for you. But the bottom line is this. I want to say, Ms. Horton, that you do a great job. We're appreciative. A few more questions about Nonprofit Trinity Awards. Now, describe that event. I mean, the name of the organization is Nonprofits Trinity Award, but actually there's an awards ceremony with the same name.
That is correct.
Tell us about that. When will it take place and what happens there?
The Nonprofit Trinity Awards is a red carpet, black tie affair. It will be held August 17th. Doors open at 4 p.m., where they can walk the red carpet, meet the paparazzi, mix and mingle, and then the actual award ceremony begins at 6 p.m. So we are so excited. We're just looking forward to this grand event where the small nonprofit leaders and volunteers and supporters can shine and be treated like a star.
I was just about to say, every time I hear about the Nonprofit Trinity Awards, the Emmy Awards, and what's the other awards? The Academy,
Award,
that comes to my mind.
Yes.
I have yet to attend, but thank you for the invitation to come and be a part this year. Pam and I are excited about being there, but I've seen footage of past events, and I tell you, it's, guys, if you have not been to the Oscars or any of those type environments, or even the what's the Trumpet Awards, you know, you've got to come to this event, guys. Again, it's at the Porter Sanford, the third Performing Arts Center.
Yes, that's 3181 Rainbow Drive Indicator.
Yes, I'm telling you. You must come out to see this. Would you tell them how they can obtain tickets?
All they need to go is to our website, which is nonprofittrinityawards.org, or they can email us at nonprofittrinityawards@yahoo.com. Or if you want that personal touch, just give us a call at 404-936-0090.
I'm telling you guys, be there, because it's something that you've got to experience to truly understand. I've known people who've been there, and that's all I hear about. Looking at it, in fact, if you go to the website, I think there are some clippings from previous ceremonies. Guys, go there and see what you will miss if you don't attend this year. And so we're excited about it. Before we go to commercial, we do want to recognize our episode sponsor, Sip for Your Cause. We're truly grateful for the initiative that the Alexander Marketing Group has employed to help the nonprofit sector. This organization, or this initiative, is designed to increase awareness, funding, as well as the impact and sustainability of nonprofit organizations through a wraparound service approach. We will share and talk a little bit more about that, because one aspect of that is Ms. Linda Horton provides an expert service to the nonprofit arena. So we will get more into that. But we do thank our episode sponsors, and you can find them at www.sipforyourcause.org. We look forward to seeing you after the break.
Hi, I'm Pamela Adams-Alexander, technology strategist and executive producer of the BizLinks TV network. Are you using the same old techniques and elevator pitches in hopes of gaining new business, but the outcome is usually no new business? You're not alone. Many struggle to optimize the 30 to 60 seconds to spark interest in their service or product. Women Business Success Coach Trina Newby of Women About Biz and Corey Network King Moore of Pro Networker and I have joined forces to bring you a powerful two-part series, Elevator Pitch 2.0, Winning Business Through the Power of Video. Part 1 is a webinar to help you perfect your pitch. Next, it's time to take that perfected pitch to the next level, video. Part 2 is a live seminar sharing techniques to elevate your pitch using video marketing. According to Forbes Insights, about 50% of those who viewed online marketing videos went on to make a purchase. So click now to reserve your spot. Space is limited to the first 40 who register. As a bonus, each attendee will receive an elevator pitch video professionally produced by BizLinks TV Network. Again, click now to start winning business through the power of video.
Does your son need a more challenging, focused, and encouraging educational environment? Renaissance Christian Academy is an affordable private school for boys located in McDonough, Georgia, with certified teachers that are uniquely equipped to help your son master learning. You're welcome to schedule a tour of our facilities by calling 770-305-9881 or by visiting our website at rcaboysacademy.org. Renaissance Christian Academy, developing young men to be great leaders through Christ-centered learning.
Welcome back. We're here at Let's Talk Nonprofits, and we're having an exciting time with Miss Linda Brooks Horton, Executive Director and founder of the nonprofits Trinity Award. But we're going to transition to the second section of our formatted program, where we talk about the guest expert, or we talk with the guest expert and nonprofit thought leaders. And so today we are blessed to have one and the same. She is a very tremendous person. As you've already heard, she does tremendous work from the nonprofit side of helping nonprofits while she runs her own. But she also helps nonprofits from another side of it, and that is with the Admin Assistance of Atlanta. And I will let her share with you what that is all about, but I will tell you this. In the time that we've been working together, in fact, as I previously stated, that her organization, Nonprofit Trinity Awards, is a SIP for Your Cause organization, but also Admin Assistance of Atlanta is also an alliance with SIP for Your Cause. And I know there have been several people and clients that we referred to her. You know, when we don't know where to turn in helping someone personally, you know, we refer them to the alliances that are associated with the SIP for Your Cause. And she has served them extremely well in her role as Admin Assistance of Atlanta. So, with no further ado, would you share with us what Admin Assistance of Atlanta is all about?
Right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Our acronym is AAOA, which most people know the business by. And AAOA is a alternate means and way of assisting small nonprofits from conception to at least up and running. Yeah. We help them become incorporated, and also we help them obtain their 501c3. And that's our passion as well, in helping those small nonprofits at least just get off the ground and do what they do best.
I'm not sure if you caught a glimpse, but earlier in our conversation in the previous section of the program, she was throwing out some terminologies. You know, it's so fluent and natural with her that, you know, she just, it's a part of her vernacular. But I caught them, and it revealed her level of knowledge, her expertise in the sector. And so she mentioned some things like domestic, nonprofit, and tax exempt. You know, she was throwing those terms out. But guys, she is very knowledgeable, and so in the role that she has described, she does help organizations begin from idea to reality. Let me ask. So, I have an idea. You know, I know the passion is there.
Yeah.
You know, how do you help me draw that out? I don't know what to do with it. You know, what Admin Assistance of Atlanta, you know, AAOA, I mean, What do I do? First of all, tell me, how do I reach you?
Well, again, they can reach me at 404-936-0090 or the email address for AAOA, and that email address is aaoainfo@yahoo.com, or you can go on the website, which is simply thenonprofitlady.org. Can't forget that.
Absolutely, guys. That's her moniker. She's known as the Nonprofit Lady, and I assure you that moniker is not there just by chance. And
right.
So I come, and I'm like, the Nonprofit Lady.
Yes.
I just have this idea, this passion. Help me. I don't know what to do.
That's right, and that's one of the first questions that's always raised to me, because many individuals have this vision for several years and just don't know where to start. Yeah. Basically, what I would do is ask them, okay, well, tell me about your vision. Once they've explained their vision, in my heart and in my mind, I am pulling the pieces together, and I'm visualizing basically where they are and what they want to do. Then I ask them to develop a mission statement, because when it comes to nonprofit organizations, the mission statement is what the organization revolves around.
Yes.
And they have to have a solid mission statement. And if they're not able to pull a mission statement together, I am here also to help them formulate that mission statement. Right. Once they've got the mission statement together, I ask, who are your supporters? Who are those that are behind you, helping you move and push this organization? Those are the key people who you can use to create as board members.
Gotcha.
Because every nonprofit organization has to have a board, even if it's a minimum of 3 people, which is the visionary and 2 other people. Okay,
that's you know, I don't think I've ever known that. You know, that minimum number was 3, and you know, but you mentioned boards, and you know, I've seen various forms of boards. Could you address the selection of a board? I mean, like you say, you have this idea, passion, and you got people who support the idea. But how would you advise in regards to selecting board members?
Well, the idealistic means of selecting board members are those that can bring some validity and also some great input to that organization. You know, whether it is an accountant or an attorney, or you know, someone that's working actually in the field of the type of nonprofit that you're trying to establish. But the reality of it is, most individuals do not have that circle of friends. So I encourage them to have people who have a like-mind passion, or someone that is willing to help bring that nonprofit into reality, help push it, help encourage, even if it's just to start off that way.
Ms. Brooks Horton, I tell you, this is one reason I love hosting this show, because I learn a lot. You know, you're right. Ideally, we think of these influential people who have this network and they bring, but the reality is most nonprofits out there don't. You know, we don't wake up and get on the phone and say, hey, Joe, let's go. Right. You know, so I appreciate that type of honesty, that type of transparency, and that honest communication, because then I hear you say, as long as you have those people who believe in what you're doing, passion, that they will be good board members.
Yes.
Would you? I've heard the terminology that there's an active board where they act. A working board is what I've heard and read about, and then another board that I guess is not really working. What's the difference?
Right. We actually have the active board, or they can have an advisory board. An advisory can be those influential people who, maybe your banker, maybe your accountant, maybe your attorney, they're advisors.
Okay.
They'll be able to give you, sound advice. But the actual working board are those that are ready to put the, the hand to the wheel type thing and push you along.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a preference of how you advise those nonprofit leaders? Go either way or mixture? Or
They always have to have that working board.
Okay.
Even if one or two of those three are not really, there's always got to be someone there to help encourage you, because there'll come a point in time where you feel like giving up, that it doesn't seem like things are working out. Even if there's one that will help motivate you. And I remember there was a portion of scripture where David said even he had to encourage himself.
Absolutely.
So even if you have to encourage yourself, do not give up on your dream, do not give up on your vision. If God gave you that vision, He will make the provision. Just hang on in there.
You sound like you're talking to someone ready to start a business.
That too.
So, again, it comes back to that full circle, guys, that, it ultimately comes back to similar skill sets are necessary and required to be effective in terms of leading your nonprofit organization. I wanted, I know we're coming close to time, but is there anything that you would, one nugget, two nuggets that you would say is really critical, that you would say, before we leave, I must share this with the nonprofit community?
Well, I just want to encourage each and every one to come out to the Nonprofit Trinity Awards. We have a great lineup of artists and some wonderful, wonderful presenters, which includes Mr. Alexander himself and his wonderful, wonderful wife, Pam Alexander. So even if you're coming to support them, we'd love to see you out. But we have some great artists, great presenters, and we have some awesome, awesome small nonprofits and volunteers that deserve to be recognized. And you just never know. Next year, it just might be you.
Well, I tell you, I always have mixed emotions at this time of the program where we're getting ready to sign off. One, I enjoy the conversation and learning so much. I just keep asking questions and keep having her share. But the other part is I'm excited that we're coming to a close, because I'm ready for you to take these nuggets and apply them. I will tell you this, as you've heard this evening. We don't care what size organization you have in mind or division. We don't care where you come from. We don't care who your circle of friends are and your network. If there's something driving you, we encourage you to please seek out someone, a particular person such as Ms. Linda Brooks Horton, and seek their advice. Go and volunteer at a place, and, it may be an area in which you're already thinking about going, but more importantly, reach out to someone such as Miss Linda Brooks Horton and allow her to be able to advise you and give you some guidance in how to start up. And if you're already up and running, I tell you, she is very knowledgeable. She can advise you, and she talks about from startup to, going to get started. But she has more information. It may not be the focus of what she's put most of her energy with her AAOA. But, guys, she's very knowledgeable. So reach out to her. And, again, how can they reach you, Ms. Horton?
To obtain information about starting a nonprofit or obtaining your 501c3, you can email me at aaoainfo@yahoo.com. Or if you're interested in attending the Nonprofit Trinity Awards, please feel free to email us at nonprofittrinityawards@yahoo.com, or just give us a call, 404-936-0090.
Guys, on that note, we're going to bring this episode of Let's Talk Nonprofits to a close. But as we always say, based upon the philosophy of SIP for your cause, we would like to give you our highest level of salute, Ms. Linda Brooks Horton, and say this SIP's for you. And so we close now and ask that you share with your friends our episodes. Your friends, if you're in LinkedIn, you have groups that are nonprofits that you're associated with, please share this link. You can reach us at www.bizlinks.tv. And also, we would like to remind you that if you are interested in having your nonprofit showcased and shared here on Let's Talk Nonprofit, or if you're an expert that contributes to the growth, sustainability, and development of nonprofit organizations, reach us at Let's Talk at bizlinks.tv. Again, you can email us at letstalk@bizlinks.tv and submit your information or recommend an organization or a guest expert to be on the show. We look forward to hearing you joining us on our next episode. Remember to check us out on the YouTube. Thank you. Check us out on YouTube. Again, that's bizlinks.tv. You can look at our playlist there and other shows that are on the BizLinks TV network. We're excited about it. Our network is growing. We invite you, if you're interested in advertising, look at the opportunity to be able to do so. So again, we're signing off here. Again, Let's Talk Nonprofits. Until next time.